Hey everyone, we the girls from That's the Rap are back, and this time we are going to talk about She the People on
She the
Netflix.
people.
She the People. It's a Tyler Perry production. And what I remember seeing, it says executive producer, writer, and director Tyler Perry, but it was also co-created by Tyler and Naya Palmer.
hmm And in
Um,
the interview, Naya has stated that Terry Vaughn, 5 years previously, pitched this idea to her. So
okay.
Terry J.
So it's
Vaughn.
from the minds of
Yes,
Terry J. Vaughan,
Terry J. Vaughn.
whom I think we both follow.
Oh my God.
Because
Love her.
yeah,
Madam Sister President.
Queen,
That's from
Queen,
Steve Harvey show. Sorry.
Queen. Okay, so one sentence reaction.
One sentence
One
reaction.
se- one sentence reaction to She the People. Let me go first. I'll go first. Mine is I am not the audience for this show. It wasn't made for me.
So my one sentence before I watched it was go Naya, go Terry, yes, Queens. Afterward, after watching, I watched all 8 episodes.
Okay.
My sentence is we didn't need 8 episodes to tell this story.
Okay.
Could have told it in 4.
Okay. Well, I only watched the first four and I felt like it was complete.
So
That's it.
I get it, and I was going to stop there.
Hmm.
I
hmm
really
hmm
was.
Yeah.
um, I mean, you know that I was because when
Uh,
we went to see the movie the other day,
Yeah. Yeah.
I was just like, I'm on starting episode 4, and I don't know. But
hmm
once I got home, I was just like, all right, let me see where this is going. And I
Where
saw,
did it go?
well,
Hmm
they were bringing in other like well-established
hmm hmm
actors,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Um, TC Carson, is that his name?
Oh, Kyle?
Yep.
Kyle from Living Single?
Bog. Yes,
Oh, bug.
Bog. And then the woman, and I forget her name, but she starred in the TV show Meet the Browns with
Oh,
Terry
okay.
J. Vaughn.
Okay. I never saw it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she's on there.
Okay.
They came in at the last seven, the 7 and 8, and that's why
hmm
um Denise Boot, Boutte. I feel like that's French, like Botte or I don't know.
Okay.
But she has range and
hmm
chemistry
hmm
with Terry, like when they start and Meet the Browns. So I was really excited to see like those two, right?
hmm
Because
hmm
they add layers. They understand the use of space and
Okay.
ad-libbing, right? Is like active listening and acting. And so seeing them, I was like, oh wow, this sets up season 2.
hmm
But we could have done that. They could have done that in 4 episodes. They could have told that story. I felt like I felt the story was stretched beyond what needed to be, right? It's like
hmm hmm
a, you know, like biker shorts, right? Like just stretched.
Just because you can fit into them doesn't mean that you should wear them.
and and it was redundant, right? And
hmm
I understand he was trying to set up that breaking point for her.
Hmm. Hmm.
But she could have had that breaking point three
Earlier.
episodes earlier.
Yeah. 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 Like I said, this was not made for my the things that I watch, right? So I just knew that I was not the audience for this because I couldn't connect to anybody in it. I I didn't understand Antoinette Dunkerson at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
I didn't understand what she stood for, who she was,
Right. Right.
what what was motivating her, what was driving her. Um, she just seemed like the character itself just seemed like she was floating through her life and just taking the beat downs as they came from everybody around her. It just seemed like nobody respected her, even the people that she loved and was around. I
Yeah.
didn't understand her motivations at all. And it just, to me, she wasn't even likable as a character. And not saying that you have to be, because in the telling of a story, you can, as we've talked before, you could start off hating the protagonist, right? Like you don't even like the main character, but through the storytelling,
Right. Right.
as you learn more, you may find something that you relate to or connect to. But with her, it was just like even the voice seemed like always high and just
And fake, right? Like
like
for me, I was always searching for who is really Antoinette,
yeah, yeah.
right? Like shout
Mhm.
out Antoinette because her nickname same as mine, Net. So
Net,
I was like, yo, what's up? Right. Um, I was searching for who she is
yeah.
because there's so much fakeness in all of that.
Hmm. Hmm.
So she's running for this office. She has her eye on this prize,
Hmm.
but I feel like everybody just wanted her to get laid.
It
Like
seemed
they
that
didn't
way.
get it. Like she has this amazing goal and they
Hmm.
just trying to get her some D. Like it did not make sense to me.
Hmm. I didn't feel like there was even any character development. What was her backstory? I don't know. I don't know. In four
Well, she did
episodes,
go
I
to,
don't even
I
feel
think she went to Jackson
she went to
State
she went to Jackson State, she went
and
to
then to
Harvard.
Harvard. Yeah.
She's divorced with
Yes.
two teenage kids, and I don't even understand the purpose of the ex because I thought he'd be more involved.
I I didn't understand why he was there in one and then he wasn't there at all.
Oh, so he didn't even come back
He
through.
didn't know.
Okay.
He did not
Okay.
even resurface.
Yeah.
So when the daughter expressed that she didn't want to stay there
Yeah.
at the lieutenant governor mansion, and
Hmm.
that's another thing to me. Why wouldn't she be able to stay with her dad?
Yeah. Well,
It
I guess that it wasn't written. It just seemed like I don't know. Maybe they were on a tight budget and it's really who needs to be in this that needs to be in it. I don't know because she
no,
was just like, I don't even want to
I'm
be
not
here.
talking about money. I'm talking about story wise. It didn't make sense.
No, no, but I think what I was saying is budget wise for this show, maybe having, extra storyline meant extra actors
I
and
get
it
that, but
didn't
then you take the story and you make it more believable, right? Like if
as a
she's
writer.
like,
Yep.
"Hey, I don't want to stay here. Why can't I stay with dad?" Then you add a line, "Your dad got deployed to Germany
Right.
and he can't." Like, you see
A
how easy I
plausible
made that
answer.
up? Like,
A plausible answer that you're just like, okay, now we know why she can't go stay with her
yes.
dad. Okay, now
And
she's stuck here. Now it makes more
right.
sense.
So
I know.
there's so many things about this that really did not sit well with me. That's one
Hmm.
thing. But then also, you have a black woman in Mississippi raising two black kids, and you go to the the lieutenant governor mansion, and as soon as you walk through the threshold, You're standing on a symbol that literally killed, created a genocide
Hmm.
amongst people
Who look just like her.
who looked just like her and some
And
didn't,
probably her
right?
answers, right? Yep, yep.
So that was problematic for red and black.
Hmm.
So and also some white people. Before
Hmm.
we won't get into that, but
Yeah.
I had a problem with that
Hmm.
because who is she? She's a mom. She's supposed to be protecting her kids. Why would you want your children to see this symbol and be okay with it? And
Hmm.
you're literally telling them that sometimes you just need to be quiet. They're sitting down, eating, and all of these genocidal symbols are all
Hmm.
throughout this place,
Hmm.
and yet she's not taking a stand.
Right.
But she takes a stand because a pipeline is going through black neighborhoods, poor neighborhoods. It there are just so many things that just didn't resonate, and I really did not feel like I got to know Antoinette to root for her.
Hmm. Hmm.
Like, what was her story? Her story in the first episode was like every character has a need. So in the first episode, her need was to be lieutenant governor. We're rooting for her, rooting for
Hmm.
her. She gets lieutenant governor. What's the broader story?
There didn't seem to be any real character development for Antoinette. I didn't see any progression. Now, mind you, I've only seen the first four episodes. Not expecting a huge progression in her in how she moves, but give me something, like you said, to root for her. Like they just didn't seem to be anything I was relating to or even wanting to
Yeah.
to see her kind of just like be her own person. She just seemed to be in a constant state of reaction to everybody around her.
Yeah.
Everybody from family and strangers, the men at the
She was like a
governor's.
doormat to everybody, right?
That's what she came. Everyone. She was a doormat to her children. She was a doormat to her
Yeah.
mother, her assistant. Who it's like nobody cared what Antoinette wanted or needed. She was just there so they can keep punching down
Right.
at her, and she just is taking it.
Yeah. I
No
mean,
one
the
takes her
governor,
seriously.
like
Yeah.
you're like second in command, right?
Hmm. Of an entire
Of
state,
an entire state. And you legit gonna let somebody choose who your staff is?
and
You
your
gonna
chief
let
of
somebody
staff
who works for you tell you
tell you
no?
literally gives you your agenda for the
Yeah.
day, like
Like
you're a child.
Mike can't her security detail, who
Hmm.
is also her driver. He can't make a pit stop so you could go see your kids. Like I just felt like each episode, I know what he was trying to do.
Hmm.
He was building it and building it and building it and building it.
Until she broke. Is that what
Yeah, but
you
it
think?
wasn't even a really big break of a dam. It
Okay.
was just the lieutenant governor is calling her Nettie. That's not even her name.
Hmm.
She's allowing some man to call her out her name, and she
Hmm.
stands there and she smiles.
Hmm.
Like I'm just like, huh?
Which I feel like is, and I have not watched, I would say probably a good portion of anything that Tyler has created. Um, but there are just certain things I have watched. And I really think the last Tyler Perry, anything that I remember watching was Ramoni with Taraji P. Henson.
Okay.
I actually really, it was dark, but I really enjoyed that movie. Um, there's just kind of this pattern of these women that I feel like he writes, and many and folks have talked about it, but I think it's almost rare from what, and I can only go by the stuff that I have seen of seeing strong women, even when they break, they come, it builds, right? Like even if they're here and then it drops and then they're going through the changes of whatever's happening in their
Because
life,
that's normal growth of
growth.
humans. Yeah,
Yeah.
regardless of
But I
male.
feel like there is, when he tends to write women, the female characters, especially the main female character, she's always broken. Like she comes off weak, broken. Anybody can walk all over her. And you're lucky, and it's kind of like at the crescendo, I think she either goes crazy and completely loses it and that's it, or she has a moment of like, I'm better than this, but then kind of comes back down to just settling for whatever is given to her. Like, and Antoinette, I don't know who this woman is, but I
Yeah, I
don't care.
mean,
I don't even care because she doesn't seem to care.
yeah.
There just wasn't any depth to
I
her as a
agree with
character.
that. I agree. I felt that the writing sometimes took the easy way out
Mm.
and
What
building the story.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, I just think that he just went with low-hanging fruit, right? Like
Hmm.
racism. Her antagonist is the governor who's a white Southern boy. And then to create drama and chaos,
Hmm.
conflict in the house
Yeah.
has to be haunted. And then you have all these white people, Confederate flags, and all kinds
Hmm.
of stuff all over. I
Hmm.
felt like that was low-hanging fruit because anybody
Mm.
that moves into a house, they rearrange it the way that they want to,
Right.
like there are some rooms that you cannot change, but
Hmm.
guaranteed they can move that Confederate flag rug
The rug. As you walk right in.
and throw
That's the
pillows.
first step. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And we're dealing with sitcoms, right? So, you think like the Parkers, Nikki Parker goes back to school and she lives with her daughter, you know, and you're following them as they go along and her
Hmm.
crush with Professor Ogilvy. I just didn't feel that there was enough layers within the story. Not
Okay.
only is Antoinette underdeveloped, you know,
Hmm.
who are these other people? Her cousin, who who is the other one person, Basil, who I think saved the day many a times
Mm.
with humor. And I felt like he was also a good actor
Hmm.
if used properly. And
Hmm.
I think that, and Joe Marie, I mean, she's amazing in and of itself, but
Yeah.
who are they?
Like,
In eight
yeah.
episodes, I know nothing about
Hmm.
how did Shamika and Basil meet? Did I miss it? Did they talk
No.
about how they met? Like, why does she call um Antoinette's mom Auntie
Auntie
Grandma?
Grant, ma'am.
Why is the daughter so mad at her mother? And why
Hmm.
is the son afraid to speak up? Who the heck are these
These
people?
people. Yeah. Yeah.
And you could reveal those answers in a comedic way. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think that they tried to give you a glimpse in who Antoinette is
Hmm.
somewhat, but I don't even know who these people are around her. What did
Right.
Mike do before he got there? You know, why
Yeah.
does Basil wear all those bright suits? You know, my man, yo, the funniest thing, he had on a butter colored silk suit short set. Not only was it shorts, but it was a short.
Short.
I'm telling you, like he just saved those moments.
Mm.
The actress that played Shamika, I thought that she was pretty darn good. Sometimes the
Mhm.
ad-libbing would go off the rails and it'd be like,
Yes.
just be quiet. Like that's okay. Let them
Yeah.
go. We'll just deal with that in post,
Right.
you know.
Right. Right.
Um, but
I think they all did the best that they could with what the material that they had. And I just don't think the material was maybe of my standard of quality,
right.
but regardless, it's content created by a man who knows how to create content that the people want to see.
Yeah, I mean his
So we have no doubt that this will be yet another successful
and
Tyler
his
Perry
yeah,
production.
yeah,
It just
and
doesn't, it's like anything that's out there, whether it's Tyler, whether it's any other writer, producer, creator
yeah.
out there. Um, it's some people like it, some people won't,
Some people
right?
won't. I mean,
Yeah.
I told my sister, I was just like, yeah, you gonna like this.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Because
this,
she's a fan. She
yeah.
likes she likes
And I'm a
she
fan.
enjoys. Yep.
I'm a
Yep.
fan of Tyler Perry. There's some things that he writes, shows that he creates that I'm like, yeah,
Hmm.
I need to watch it.
Yeah.
I always
Yeah.
thought Meet the Browns was funny.
Yeah.
But then again, Meet the Browns isn't something that he wasn't the trifecta all the time.
Okay.
The show it,
Okay.
Chip Hurd,
Yeah. Yeah.
Kim Fields, like
Yeah.
um
There was a weird thing to me
Myra.
when of the stuff that I watched. It was about pacing. I just like you said, like sometimes things just went too long. And the one scene that I remember was actually in episode 4
Mhm.
when Antoinette, Shamika, and the daughter, I don't remember what her name is, are in the car. She just did
Gymnastics.
gymnastics.
Oh my goodness.
I was like, I remember doing those cartwheels when I
Yeah.
was like in fourth grade.
Also, my thing is, if you know that you're doing a tumble when everybody else is doing flips,
Also doing
you don't
flip.
need your mama to tell you that you're not good. You should already know it.
Apparently she did. She did, which also didn't seem like it's the same person because she always seemed to be on top of things, the daughter, but for some reason
Yeah.
when it came to that, she was just like
Right. Right.
it just it just didn't make sense. But that scene in the car, I just remember going, "What we spending like 10 minutes?
Oh
They
my
still in the car?
God.
They're
Yeah.
still going back and forth and talk
Yeah.
like it just went on so long." And I'm like, you could have cut to something else. They could have been
Yeah.
back someplace else and still had the conversation, but get us out of the car. Like we were
Yeah.
still in the car.
Still in the car. We're still in the console area looking at
Yes,
them in the car.
yes, in the car.
And I felt like, great that you brought that up because I think that that was in every episode, you know,
Yeah.
like in episode 7 or 8. So, I think it's 8 when she has the blow up with the governor.
Hmm.
So he has a heart attack. So I'm assuming that he dies and then she has to step into
Hmm.
the governorship, right?
Okay.
The interaction between the two of them
Hmm.
took way longer. You don't need words to tell a story.
Yep.
You don't always need words. And sometimes less is more. And I
Hmm.
feel that like his direction throughout the entire series, I thought was really good,
Hmm.
pretty strong, but it too much words. I mean, I
Hmm.
think like years ago we saw Erica Alexander. Will always think about this every time I write
Yes.
or if I'm directing. Cut the dialogue.
Yes.
And when you go through it and you cut it
Cut
some
it again. You get more. That was one of Erica Alexander, for those who don't know, played Maxine Shaw, attorney at law,
yeah.
on Living Single. And she's done other things too, but that's what she's really known for.
He's still
Um,
riding a Maverick.
she's
So
still writing. Yes, 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 yes. But that was one of the best advice that she could have given, especially us at that time, because that really helped us to reread, cut, reread our scripts and cut because it's like, honestly, the viewer doesn't like all of this language is all of this
they
dialogue
don't
is not
they don't need
needed
it. They don't
because
need it.
if you're it's written right and directed in a way you can capture all of this dialogue just
With
by like
visual,
in the
with
visual.
visuals. You could
Yes, yes,
a scene just with
yes,
visuals,
yeah,
and
yeah.
I felt like he could have done that in so many ways.
All right, so clapboard one being turn it off because just don't waste your time, to number five being I can I'm gonna keep this and probably rewatch it for the next like,
Right, right.
10 years. So where are you with it since you watched the full 8 episodes? Where does She the People land for you?
Since I watched all eight,
Yes.
I would say I'm giving it a three.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to give it a three because I really want to see. It's not fair because sometimes when I see train wrecks, I still want to keep watching because I want to see where he takes this because he's
Right.
bringing on some incredible actors.
Hmm.
The governor had a heart attack. So I want to see also for next season, does he bring in other writers?
Hmm.
Like he did on Meet the Browns? Does he bring in other writers? Does he bring in other directors?
Hmm.
That's why I give it a three. It
Okay.
and also I love Terry Vaughn.
Hmm.
I want to see her win. So I will definitely come back in and check things out. So a three.
Okay. Well, and maybe I'll probably watch the last episode in preparation for
You all
what's
like
coming
that, but
next.
I am
I'm
not.
I'm bypassing the other ones. It's just there's no point. But I'll watch episode
Girl,
8 because
don't.
I think her becoming the governor really I'm hoping really amps up the storytelling because
Yeah.
now there is nobody standing in her way,
Yeah.
at least that we can see, at least you know
It would be her that's standing in her way.
in
But
her own. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. They did do this one scene where she was at Freaknik. Her mom was showing her, oh, they wanted to know about HBCU. So what way about them watching this documentary? And it was Freaknik. And you had Antoinette on a car with these booty shorts, Daisy Dukes, with the fringe on it, and she all
Yes.
working.
So they were looking at videos of her when she was at Freaknik.
No, remember the documentary Freaknik?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. She was in, so they're saying that she was in the
She was in
documentary.
that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So her mom was
Okay.
like, oh, well, the kids wanted to learn about HBCUs. So what better way to learn about HBCUs than watching a documentary? Which, yeah, it's funny, right? Because Freaknik is not in the documentary about HBCUs. But it was funny. I love
Okay.
how he set that up. I mean, because it's Joe Marie. She is going to take, not saying that the script was bad, but Joe
Hmm.
Marie can take something that's hella crappy and
Right.
twist it and turn it, and you be like, "Dag, that was funny." And she saved many a scene. I felt like,
I mean, Well, I'll have to see that because their mom went to Jackson State. Why do they need to see anything about what HBCU is when she went to an HBCU? It doesn't even make sense.
No, but it does because
But
they're
it does.
asking the
Yeah.
grandmother, right?
Okay.
And
Okay.
so the grandmother didn't go. So
Got it.
Antoinette comes in, she's like, "What are you watching?" It's like, "So we're showing them a documentary on HBCUs." And she's like, "Why are you showing a documentary on HBCUs when I went to Jackson State?"
Oh, okay. Okay.
And the mom was like, "Yeah, but you weren't here," or something like that. And so, and she's Antoinette's trying to get them to turn it off.
Right.
And remember when Freaknik came out and everybody was
Hmm.
like, "Get this off of Hulu." Because now I am a VP of communications at, Xerox.
Work at a Fortune 100 company right now. Nobody needs to see my booty
Yeah.
shaking when
And
I was
so
20 years old.
her
Okay.
kids see her and she's trying to
Okay.
turn it off. Just like, wait,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
So
I do like the grandmother, although
yeah,
it's a lot. It's
yeah,
a lot, but
yeah,
I can see how, like, I think the grandmother and Basil, and I really
take
wanted to
the
call
J.
him Basil, but
Yeah,
the fact that she kept calling him Basil, and all I kept thinking about was greenery that goes in my food, but
yeah.
an herb. Um,
Well, he
I
smoked
think
a lot of it.
those, he did. The two of them are truly the comic relief,
100%.
right? He's more like goofy, but then
Yeah,
the mom is like more straight faced and just
yeah,
like cutting you. And
yeah,
I did like that.
yeah. I really enjoyed those two characters. They helped push the scene along.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, so I give it a three.
Okay.
I know you give it a one. I would say,
I give it nothing because I didn't even watch the full thing, and I think to give, although I did it for forever, but we did a whole pilot episode review, and I was just like, yes,
yeah,
and I was there. But for this one, I'm just going to not give a review because I didn't fully give it a full shot. Um, but hopefully season two, I'll just watch episode 8, prepare myself for the next one, and then keep it moving.
yeah.
Okay.
I don't think you're gonna watch season two, but
I may. We'll see how it goes
okay.
based on you. But I'll wait until you tell me if it's worth watching. All right. Thank you everyone for watching our review of She the People on Netflix right now.
Yeah.
Please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment
The
on what you think,
trifecta. Yeah.
what you think of She the People, and just engage with us. We
Yeah.
love that.
What do you think of Tyler Perry? I'd like to know.
Yeah. I mean, we can always, I think any discussion with TP in it can, can garner all kinds of reactions. So thank you, everyone. We'll see you next time.
All right, bye-bye.